No Air and No Career. Did Chris Brown's altercation with Rihanna sabotage Jordin Sparks' career? Toxic relationships, historic wins, hit singles, and Chris Brown. A peculiar recipe to Jordin Sparks' turbulent career. When No Air Jordin, all pun intended, broke the seal on the season 6 of American Idol, she did what no one else had done before, becoming the youngest winner in Idol history, riding her momentum straight past her first batch of singles all the way through her 2008 hit No Air and beyond. By the time her second album, Battlefield, came about, Sparks' career was an example of just that, and soon enough, she and her bubbly personality disappeared, right in front of our eyes, leaving many to wonder, girl, what happened? Well, similar to every other woman who had something good going for them before letting it all go to waste, it all started with a man. Several, in Jordin's case, and supposedly it all began with Christopher Maurice Brown sabotaging her career. How'd he do it? Well, we're about to find out. Jordin, Jordin, Jordin. Where would we be without all those tattoos if we didn't take it one step at a time? Right here in the same position we're currently in with this fast generation of grab and go music, because those singles weren't enough to keep Miss Sparkle Sparks on the music radar whatsoever. Born to Jody and Philip B. Sparks, a professional footballer for the Arizona Christian University, Jordin's Arizona upbringing did what it had to do at the time to bend, stretch, and shape her into becoming the woman we all know today. But Arizona wouldn't be a permanent residing spot for long. Settling in the suburbs of Ridgewood, New Jersey, attending to her studies while her pops upgraded as NFL defense to the New York Giants. Meanwhile, Jody enrolled her daughter into the Northwest Community Christian School through the 8th grade back in Phoenix after the fam relocated. Attending Sandra Day O'Connor High School up till 2006, her grandma came through with the teaching skills aiding in Jordin's education once she decided to drop out of public schooling in favor of homeschool because our girl was on her way to the tippy top. Education was important, sure, but Jordin already had her future set and knew entertainment is what she wanted to do. The girl could sing and act and was the perfect candidate for plus-size modeling, winning Best Young Artist of the Year in Arizona a whopping 3 times in a row. Sis was a star, and they knew it, which is why when the American Idol auditions came about, no one hesitated to give their full-fledged support to a then 16-year-old Jordin. But before the yeses, nos, golden tickets, and Simon Cowell unenthusiastically telling every auditionee it's a no for me, Jordin was already doing her big one before the big one, singing the national anthem at local sporting events and participating and winning a plethora of talent competitions, shows, and all else in between. Coca-Cola's Rising Star, the Gospel Music Association Academy's overall Spotlight Award, America's Most Talented Kids, Colgate Country Showdown, Arizona's Superstar Search, and more. The talent searches weren't the only thing prepping Jordin. Her grandma Pam yet again came through this time as her talent manager. A 2004 Christmas tour with Alice Cooper, a 2006 tour with Michael W. Smith, and a torrid plus-size model search win all found themselves on Jordin's journey to American Idol, and finally, we've arrived to the summer of 2006 at the Idol auditions. Plural, not one, but twice. Jordin had to audition because apparently whoever was green-lighting the auditions decided to turn into Helen Keller minus the smarts and gave Jordy the boot. Los Angeles competition is thick, so we get it, but that's okay though, because Seattle would be a lot less strict on whatever qualities plus abilities they were looking for. After winning Arizona's Arizona Idol talent competition, Jordin just knew she had it in the bag, and did. Well, the second time around anyway. Her audition in Seattle would ultimately be used as a footage seen on her aired episode of the Idol auditions, singing her rendition of Celine Dion's Because You Loved Me before receiving 3 yeses and being given a golden ticket to the next round. The Spark Plugs, her Idol fanbase name, definitely went hard for their fave each and every episode, with Judge Randy Jackson himself predicting that the curly-haired girl will become the winner. Call him Raven Baxter because that boy can see into the future. Jordin became the youngest winner in American Idol history to win a global singing competition show at the age of 17. A live tour and Idol after show promo kept her busy till the late 2007 debut of her self-titled album, which spawned the hits Tattoo and SOS. Peaking at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100, Tattoo became her first top 10 hit, becoming certified platinum, and has sold over 2 million copies in the States. Her third single, One Step at a Time, also received much success, reaching number 7 on Billboard's Hot 100, making this her fourth top 20 hit. SOS, and an original American Idol song, being amongst those. The album itself debuted at number 10 at Billboard's Hot 200 and has sold over 1 million copies. Jordin is the first and only American Idol contestant to have their first 4 singles reach the top 20 on the Hot 100, another historic win. She even returned back to Idol numerous times since her departure, performing her songs on the stage that made her a household name. Her debut was a hit, and her next project would continue that trajectory. Her most streamed and downloaded song to date, y'all know the one, Hey Alexa, play that bop ballad by that curly-haired American Idol girl and the light-skinned wall-to-wall ninja. No Air had us gasping for air when it came out and kept the karaoke girlies busy for years to come. There's an unspoken rule in the R&B and used to be pop world that says if you want a hit record, get Chris Brown on the track. A duet with Chris Breezy was just the thing Jordin needed to boost her career to new heights. After showing interest in the record, Jordin got her hands on the ballad before anybody else could, sealed it, and ushered in Chris to sell it. Well, Jordin herself didn't, but one of the songwriters themselves advised her to put Brown on the track. Plus, Jordin would only be given the track only if she made it a duet. The song peaked at number 3 on the Hot 100, becoming Jordin's highest-selling single to date, selling over 3 million copies, making her the first Idol contestant to reach the 3 million mark. Another historic win. It also became Chris's first single to reach the 3 million mark as well. It reached number 1 in New Zealand and Australia, achieving platinum certification in both countries. The desperate love story between Sparks and Brown in the No Air music video was the perfect super short film to define the 2000s. Laying against a foggy glass and intrusively drawing a heart in it just adds the extra to really make viewers feel the feels. From commercials, television promo soundtracks, and even in the animated mall courts of some of the most nostalgic second world sites like Zwinky. The awards that came along with it were equally as huge. Nominated twice and winning Favorite Combined Force at the 35th People's Choice Awards, the video won Best Heartbreak Video at the 2008 BET Pre-Awards, was nominated for Best Female Video at that year's MTV VMAs, covered and featured by a bunch of other artists, and even was nominated for a Grammy for Best Pop Collaboration. Despite all these accolades, and the world asking how were they supposed to breathe with no air, Jordin's music had stalled, and eventually she and her music would disappear altogether without warning. Little by little, her career time in the spotlight was declining, and soon enough, Jordin's name being on a rotary list of mainstream relevance ceased to exist. By the time her second studio album, Battlefield, came about, Jordin Sparks simmered down. Her song under the same name created buzz, but didn't make as nearly enough noise as her previous singles. 19 Recordings and Jive Records hosted Jordin's musical endeavors for the time being, but they weren't pushing her or her music like they should have. Most likely due to the merging of the two labels, along with other notable labels like Artists and LA Face, becoming what we all know today as the questionable RCA Records. Once the merge took place, Jive Records' old staff and crew were given the boot, and a new staff will be brought in, which affected a lot of careers. It just didn't have enough staff to cater to all their artists on their label. Amongst the new cleanup crew was their new A&R, who didn't give a rat's tail about Jordin or what she was singing about. Not only was the focus no longer on her whatsoever, but they'd shelve future projects and even gaslight old girl whenever she'd ask about the release of her music solely because they could. Jordin's career took a huge plummet after the merge, and while y'all thought she was out and about performing No Air and Tattoo for pre-award show segments for the umpteenth time, she was pleading with her label to release her music, while in the meanwhile, writing her own. Honorable mentions Jordin co-wrote but couldn't sing herself, or Who Says, given to Selena Gomez, and The Way, Ariana Grande's first ever mainstream hit. Jordin was writing hits for days while pent up in the studio, trying not to rip out her curly tresses from the stress of such a power hungry industry. A switch of labels caused a major dent in her career. A vocal injury suffered while she was on the Alicia Keys' As I Am tour almost made Jordin park herself in the unsung category prematurely. An acute vocal cord hemorrhage blocking her ability to sing at all. After being put on a strict vocal rest, fortunately, her condition improved drastically, and she was back like she never left. Another minor incident that almost got our girl out of here was a controversial incident at an award show while on stage with host Russell Brand after he held up a silver ring, claiming to have relieved one of the Jonas brothers of their virginity by saying he would take them more seriously if they wore the ring about their private areas. Jordin, who'd been sporting a promise ring herself, responded by saying it wasn't bad to wear one because not everybody, guy or girl, wanted to be a slut. Best believe the hit dog's hollering ate her up. But Jordin didn't care about y'all's fake outrage, telling Entertainment Weekly that she didn't regret nada. I wish I would have worded it differently, that somebody who doesn't wear a promise ring isn't necessarily a slut, but I can't take it back now. What really almost sidetracked her career was no other than Chris Brown, and I think you know where I'm going with this. At least I hope so. Don't want to leave you more blindsided than Rihanna was. During an appearance on the Truth or Drink YouTube channel, Jordin exclusively let it be known that she was almost a Grammy Award winner. After being nominated for Best Pop Collaboration with Vocals, along with her partner, not in crime, Chris Brown, Jordin was ecstatic, showing up vibrant as ever to the Grammys red carpet. But before she'd be given the chance to even step foot on the fabric, two label publicists stepped to her, blocking her entrance. You don't know nothing, don't say nothing, and don't allege anything, got it? Now what on earth? What you talking about, Willis? Jordin was more than confused. That is until notifications were quickly being sent to attendees' phones, and Jordin felt the cold looks and unpleasant stares aimed her way from every which way. Uneasy was an understatement, but after checking her phone, she understood what all the secret animosity was about. The night prior, her No Air duet partner had beaten the brakes off his girlfriend at the time, Rihanna, and it was circulating the blogs like wildfire. Despite having absolutely no correlation with the incident, Jordin's ties to Chris Brown via their song that was nominated for a Grammy put a target on her back, and she thinks that Chris's actions led to her being snubbed at the award show. But don't get it twisted. Jordin has never shied away from defending her longtime friend, even after all the allegations and highly concerning behavior. She may not be the conductor, but she is on the board the Leave Chris Alone train till this day. When it all boils down to it, Jordin's label were haters of her music, and anything creative-wise she had to offer. They intentionally withheld her music, shelved it even, and refused to put it out for the public to hear, while simultaneously gaslighting her for seeking other creative outlets in the meanwhile. RCA weren't doing anything to push Jordin to the forefront, so she auditioned for acting gigs and booked several roles, one of those being the 2012 musical, Sparkle, alongside Whitney Houston. Needless to say, her label wasn't here for it, telling her straight up that she wasn't focused on the music whenever she'd asked about them releasing her stacks of music she had written throughout the years. The gag is, Jordin was focused. Y'all shelved all her projects, made her wait. Then when she went and seeked other ways to make that dough, now it's, oh well, you weren't focused enough, Jordy. Jordin was not here for the gaslighting and marched her usual bubbly and understanding self right in that office and told everybody in sight to F right on off. Literally. But before you do, you're going to listen to these songs I done wrote. And they did. Obviously, her pen game was more than strong. Refer back to her co-writing Ariana Grande's breakout hit and hits for many more artists. They gave her the nod of approval, said her music was amazing, yet still refused to put her music out there. She was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Her label was mishandling her career. but wouldn't let her out of her contract because they didn't want no other label to have her. Well, that's too darn bad, because Jordin ultimately did find a way out, a much smaller one, but the release of her music and creative control was much more important to her, releasing an EP, By Felicia, inspired by her messy breakup with Jason Derulo, before releasing her third studio album, Right Here, Right Now, under Louder Than Life Records. This was her time, and she did everything she could to promote her new music, promos, interviews, appearances, and released her first comeback single, Double Back, featuring 2 Chainz, with a more up-to-date and improved appearance from Jordin herself. But along the way, that too would be mishandled and barely pushed due to the label going bankrupt. She released Red Sangria in 2020. You know the song and music video y'all said looked like an Old Navy back-to-school commercial, but fixed it up smoothly with a nice ballad as well as other singles, and even released a Christmas album, Cider and Hennessy. She made her return to Broadway in the musical Waitress, had a baby in 2018 with her husband since 2017, Dana Isaiah, and even competed on Dancing with the Stars last year. Jordin Sparks' career has gone through more loops and taken more twists and turns than a foreign roller coaster, but her perseverance to entertain the masses, her passion for the arts, and determination to keep going, no matter how stubborn the music industry can be, has led her to become an underrated force to be reckoned with. Breaking historic records following her departure from American Idol, Jordin hasn't had the best of luck getting her newer music off the ground, but still has accomplished more than an average entertainer. Christopher Brown's antics didn't necessarily sabotage her career directly, but her career did take a hit because of his unlawful actions. No hard feelings, given that the two linked up in 2022 to perform their hit duo for the first time in over a decade. Jordin's setback ultimately was her refusal to conform to what her old label wanted her to be: more naked, more revealing, more controversial. But she wasn't going for none of that. It may have died down quite a bit, but Sparks refuses to let her spark fizzle out completely. We think Jordin Sparks deserves better. Do you? Let us know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments, and stay tuned for more true celebrity stories.